Hey everybody, Darren Cross here. Welcome to Module 8, Business 400. We're finishing up. We're in the last module. So we've been working on your business innovation using the Blue Ocean strategy, looking at how to be innovative instead of just being competitive. And we've taken that and kind of looked at that innovation from every kind of perspective, right? So we've looked at the 9 building blocks of the business model canvas, and you've worked the all of those building blocks around your innovation, focusing on the value proposition, which is the itch that you really scratch for your customer base, right? And so now we started to talk about feedback loops, and now we're talking about the continuity plan. What are we going to do going forward in order to make sure that we're able to continue on with the things that we've been trying to do? And so the continuity plan, this module, they really are talking about, they're bringing in something that I wish we brought in a little earlier, because looking at the external environment is important. And so what we're going to do in Module 8 is we're going to do they call it a pestle analysis. It really is an extension of what used to be called a pest analysis, right? So it's looking at the political, the economic, the sociocultural, the technological, and then they talk about the environmental and the legal environment. So back in the day, political and legal were together, and the sociological or sociocultural, also included environmental things. But now they just talk about pestle. And what a pestle really is an external. Those are the external micro or macro factors that influence your company, and so you're going to look at all of those factors to see how they might be influencing your company, your business, things that you have to do. And those things are very, very relevant, because you can bet that they actually are going to influence you, right? So we're going to look into the pestle analysis. We're also going to do your final project for for your innovation, and that is just your continuity plan. And I wanna actually encourage you again to actually, when you're looking at your assignment, I've had this conversation like personally with probably 5 or 6 students. When you are completing your assignment, look at the elements of the prompt. There's always elements of that prompt. Make those the heading of your assignment for that week. And when you put those as the heading, and then you give me a paragraph or two under each one of those, making sure that you're talking about what they're asking, that's how you're going to end up in good shape for these prompts, right? So don't have me looking to try to figure out what you intended this sentence to address. Straight just say it, and use direct language, right? So if you're talking about, let's look at this. So in the next steps, the requirements and rubric, it's actually saying here, the prompt, business continuity plan. So that's heading 1. Post-launch stage, heading 2. Feedback loops, the pestle analysis. These are each heading. So there's 4 headings there. So if you look, these are pretty good questions, but if you look back before, it's like, did your company do good at this? And so you say, yes, my company did well at this. That's not really good enough. So when we're writing, we want you to expand. So business continuity plan, and it says outline a basic business continuity plan for your business, identifies key business areas. So you're going to just stay right with what they're asking you to do. Functions, we want to identify key business areas and critical functions, as well as it identifies at least one measure for recovering or maintaining critical business operations in case of an emergency. So I'm looking for you to say, in case of an emergency, one measure that we can use is, see, you've answered the question. And you've taken out whether or not you've actually addressed the prompt, and now you just left it to me to evaluate the merit of what you're actually saying, which is really what I want to be doing, right? So just say that. So it says post-launch stage. The next heading, propose new ideas for the post-launch stage, including one idea for product or service improvement you plan to implement after the initial launch. So you say, here are a few ideas that I intend to introduce after the launch, and here's one idea for improving that innovation. See, you're actually telling me exactly, use the language that's in here, and that's going to get you down the road far, okay? So that keeps you focused on that. So you're going to do that, and then you're going to have your final reflection for your simulation. Um, and that's the same thing. I want you to do the same thing. Look into that rubric, those items that are listed for the rubric. I want you to actually talk about it, right? So they're talking about develops an initial point with a point of view using adequate organization and detail. Do that. Provides relevant responses. Make sure that your responses are relevant, right? So you need to make sure that you're actually addressing what we're after in each of these assignments. Okay. So another thing that I wanted to say, we are in the last module, and there were several of you that I thought you strayed significantly from the prompts, and I may have given you a 0 and said reach out to me. Let's do this week. Let's make it happen. Let's make conversations happen, and let's do everything we can to finish strong. You got in the game. You went hard, and now it's in the last hour, and you need to finish strong. So you got to capture whatever you need to capture over the course of the next week to do what you got to do to get everything turned in, okay? Get everything turned in. If I've given you a 0 and I said, hey, talk to me about this, let's have a conversation so that you can address whatever it is that I'm concerned about, and let's get that stuff turned in, okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out, and we'll finish strong this week. Good luck, everybody.